you're fine.
Like I said. Do you like my tail?
Like I said.
Welcome back to Iron Rage. I'm here with, I'm here with Nick Fury today. What's he doing on the show?
Iron Man 4, calm down, please. Captain America, just sit your ass down till I'm finished here. Thank you very much. How you going there?
What's with the eye patch? You look like Vince Taylor from the '92 Olympia.
That's right. Okay, let's go to rock ya.
All right, tell everyone what happened to you. What happened?
Well, I was just going in because my vision was getting a little bit blurry. Years ago, I think 2002, I had that LASIK surgery. I had perfect vision almost, but then about a year ago, this eye was getting blurrier and blurrier, and then I just thought I'd go get it checked, and when they're checking it, they're just looking around and goes, oh, this thing here's loose, and then they just noticed on the side, I'll show you on this side, just around here, because Australians would have to sit in the sun a lot, he goes, you could have like this little skin thing here. It's like a little red raised up thing that he said could be the onset, beginning of melanoma type thing, so they just decide to cut that out as well. Then they send that away for an autopsy, but he didn't think it was at the stage where it was spreading to cancer, but was it malignant or something when they say it's not spreading, or...
Well, it could be malignant. It's probably stage 1. Yeah, but you didn't just have a little dot. They cut out your whole eyelid, basically.
Yeah, from here across to here, and then more in the corner section where that little thing was.
I sent Tyler the pictures to his email. Maybe he can post them.
I should have taken it the night. I should have taken it the night before when I got home and had to clean it. The wife almost passed out because when I took the bandage off, my whole eye, blood just came pouring out like from a horror movie. She almost went.
Yeah, you said it looked like someone stabbed you with a knife in your eye.
Well, truth be told, Dave, they said, come on, Lee, let's just go on a shopping trip to Walmart in El Paso.
Too soon. Too soon, Lee.
Too soon?
Yeah,
too soon. Well, it's not my fault. If you're fucking Americans, and this is what gets people in there right now.
Yeah.
If you're American and your fucking gun laws, and you Americans hate it when an Aussie tells you about your fucking gun laws.
Well, you know what? When you first told me about the eye, I said, Lee, and you said I have melanoma on one of my eyes. I said, did you tell the guy it was your tattoo? And then I said, oh, maybe too soon. You're just like, no. I like that. You didn't even care.
Nothing's too soon with me, but, that's all we see here on TV. I feel sorry for the families and people that were killed in these tragedies, but no person in America needs semi-automatics or automatics. I'm like, shut up, Lee. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. No, you don't. Even if you live on a farm, you don't need a semi-automatic. And some of those weapons, like I remember, now I can have a say because I lived there for 18 fucking years, and in those 18 years, I never owned a gun. And I survived, okay?
And you were in Texas for a while, too.
I was in Texas, yes. And you'd often see people in the supermarkets with their fucking little revolver strapped onto the sides of them.
I find that so humorous. The girls have guns in their pocketbooks and everything.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, but they're having them there. Then I used to, when I lived in Scottsdale, Arizona, one of my friends was co-owners of the Scottsdale Gun Club and would go down there and rent some of those guns. And fucking hell, it's like some of those... The shit you can just buy for the average person, you don't really need it now. And then they say, but it's our Second Amendment. Is it First Amendment? First Amendment, because, back in those days, when probably the fucking revolution.
Yeah, then you needed a gun. You needed a gun to defend yourself.
Well, you'd have because the North and the South even before after the revolution. But, back then there was, I used to say it a long time ago, but then Jim Jeffries said it too. You had fucking muskets. You had a lot of time. If you got into trouble with someone or got into a fight, you're like, fuck you. Today you just go bang, back down and be like, fuck you. You just wait there.
Yeah, you got to load the musket up, right.
Don't you fucking go anywhere. You're fucked when I fucking get there.
Yeah, you could run out of the house by the time you loaded your gun.
But even by then you've had time to cool down. You're like, forget it. But now, then they say, it's what we stand to our government. No one stands up to the government anymore. They just go on Facebook and bitch about it.
Yeah.
And if you do, like, say you got those crazy militias that there are in America, I wouldn't call them crazy. They're just, doomsday and they have all this shit. They go, we got all our weapons to fight the government. And here they come with their fucking guns. I got a computer in front of me. Here's fucking Tom sitting in NORAD. What's their coordinates? Drone number 1. Oh. We got our guns. Oh, fuck. What good are your guns going to do against a fucking drone, you morons? So we can fight the government. Oh, Jesus. Jim Jeffries said it best. Jim Jeffries said it best on his comedy special. The only argument that you have to have guns is you love fucking guns. That's it. There's no other argument to have them. You love fucking guns, so just fucking.
The Americans don't want to give up their guns, Lee. But I'll tell you one thing that I didn't even know. I didn't realize you were telling me that there's a lot of skin cancer in Australia because of how strong the sun is, and they banned tanning beds there. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
When it came out probably. Oh, this would be. I was getting ready for the universe. You could still have them then. So about maybe 2014, 15. Yeah, there's this big story that. This one girl got really bad skin cancer and died from melanoma, and they found that she went to tanning beds, but also she used to go to the beach every day. So the government, in all its wisdom, said tanning beds are causing skin cancer and melanoma. They're saying, they don't really know, but they're saying maybe because tanning beds are so that intense in such a short time, it could, make it happen quicker. So many businesses down here, I'm thinking, how can the government just shut down business like that? All these people that had. Some would have a beauty salon and tanning beds in it, but some people just that's what their business was a tanning bed salon. Sure. Then the government closed them down because it said due to melanoma and stuff and it could cause skin cancer, they shut them down. But yet, the silly cunts still sell cigarettes by the fucking day, don't they? It's like, no, they don't cause cancer or anything. But, so all these people lost their livelihood and their tanning beds business had to close down just because the government said, well, it could cause skin cancer. Well, we believe it does, which they know it does. But then I said, what are you going to do? Like, is the government going to come down to the beach in summertime and just stand there and go, all right, you on the red towel, you've been out for 2 hours, come on in. That's long enough in the sun. You can't control people are going to go sit in the sun all day, no matter how much you tell them about melanoma and shit. And majority of times too, you always find this on the hands or ears, because I've always been a sucker for it. If I go out somewhere, you might put, sunscreen on, but then if you're just racing out and you could be out for a couple of hours, you never really think of putting it on your hands or your ears or your nose. And I think a year or two ago, Hugh Jackman had a big one cut off his nose. He had a big melanoma cut off there and stuff. So, it's one of those things you don't really think about. But next week, I'm going for the full body checkup. Every year I go and get the whole body done where they look you over to make sure no moles are turning into skin cancers and stuff. So if you live in you're down in Florida now, Dave, you better start.
I know. I had to go. I had a couple of things cut off that were they thought maybe more pre-cancerous. I got the Italian skin, but you never know. So my wife had a couple of basal cells removed, from her face. And
prostate checks don't count, Dave. That's not like that's not a mole. That's not a mole. That's your ass freckle. That doesn't count. Steve
Blackman does the prostate checks on me. Sorry.
They always check Steve and go, my God, your mole's spreading and leaking. Oh, that's your asshole. Sorry, we didn't know. We thought it was a melanoma.
Now, what's crazy is I always believed, and this because people ask me about tanning beds, I think tanning beds are safer than going in the sun because you're not getting the full spectrum of, you're getting mostly, I believe, UVA. They're kind of taking out the UVB.
There's always a certain different ray you're getting to, and plus, some of those tanning beds I used to go to, you only needed like 8 minutes.
Right.
And like you said, they filtered out I've always thought too, some of those newer beds always filtered out the harmful rays and just gave you the rays.
Right.
Help tan your skin. So to me, going for 8 minutes is better than these people you see sit out at the beach for 4, 5, 6 hours.
Absolutely.
And to me, in Australia here too, I'm not sure like in Florida, but that sometimes in summertime, that outdoor sun has a sting to it that's like, it feels a lot worse when it's burning you than what a tanning bed does.
Oh yeah, I mean I could be outside watering the lawn for 20 minutes and I'll get tan in Florida here. It's so strong. What was the tanning place everyone went to in Venice? Rio Tan? Is that where everyone?
Yeah, Rio Tan, yeah.
Joe DeAngelis owned that, right?
I think so, yeah. Then I remember they used to have the lay down ones, which I used to hate because you laid on those for 20 minutes and the sweat would start bubbling under your back and you'd get all fucking shitty and you'd have to lay certain ways. And then they brought out the stand-up ones where you could just stand in there and hang on like this so you could get all the places that wouldn't tan. So.
Right.
They were good. I used to maybe go once or twice, and I'm not sure if you have it there, but now we have these idiots in Australia too that injection drug, Melatonin. Do you have that over there?
Well, they have it illegally here. I think is it legal in Australia?
No, it's meant to be illegal here because I think one or two people have died from taking too much because it's just like it did something to their blood pressure and everything else.
Yeah, I've actually seen people turn purple from that. They've taken so much of it because it tans everything, your lips, your underarms, everything.
Yeah, and if anything, you got like freckles or moles, it makes them more darker and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I was breaking Mike Zeltz's balls one year at the Olympia. I said, Mike, you're fucking purple. What happened to you? You did too much
you can tell people
Melanocortin.
that use it. We got a lot of those pretty boys here that use it during fucking winter time. Everyone else looks like Casper the Ghost, and they look like they've just come back from Hawaii for 2 weeks. It's like, yeah, you're really not,
It does
you're
work.
tanning
It does
naturally.
work, though. It does work. Now,
It's better than the fake tans, though, because remember those fake tans? They're getting better, but you used to see a lot of girls coming into the gym.
the spray tans, I hate them.
Asian orange. What about the ones that they got Asian orange and their elbows are done like this? And you see them training, and it looks like they haven't got toilet paper at home. They've been using their hand to wipe their ass because their hands.
Well, you ever see Blackman? Blackman used to put the self-tanner on his face all the time. That's why he was always orange.
I reckon Blackman could have given Trump a run for the fucking.
Oh yeah, Trump. Yeah, Trump's into the self-tanners too. He says.
I don't know what Trump does though, because occasionally you'll see him and you think, oh, he actually looks nice and tanned.
Yeah.
Then the next day he looks like he's off the fucking Simpsons. I'm not sure what the fuck he's doing.
He uses this. He does the self-tanners. I think the spray tanning. Yeah.
And that's another thing I want to say about your gun thing. Stop blaming Trump. There was plenty of mass shootings before fucking Trump come along too.
Of course. People people blame who's ever in office. It's like blaming your coach why you didn't look good at the show. Everyone's got to blame someone.
But that is the coach's fault because they're dumb cunts. Not you, Dave. You're a
Thank
coach.
you.
Yeah.
All right, I wanted to ask you something else on today's show. You obviously were you knew David Dearth. David Dearth, obviously, we just found out today, passed away of a heart attack. What was your relationship with him? Did you know him back in the day when he was competing?
We done a couple of shows. I think we did a couple of Ironman shows together and San Francisco shows, because someone actually not long ago put up a picture of David and I, because I was just talking about the shorter bodybuilders in the day. And, Dave was a very good bodybuilder, and I think he also, didn't he go to the WBF there at one stage when everyone...
Sure.
Went to the WBF, but he was really you'd always see him down at Gold's Gym. Him and Aaron Baker were pretty tight. They were always training together and stuff like that. But Dave was really good. I liked him because Dave was sort of outspoken like myself. He'd always call a spade, and we'd always get on good. And haven't seen him for a lot, but always keep in contact over Facebook or on Instagram and stuff. And over the last couple of years, it seemed like he was getting more injuries. And I know he had a heart condition for a while, and he's back in hospital, and then he was going to move back home, I think, and that sort of stuff. So it's sad that he died because he was a great guy, really friendly, down to earth. Told it like it is. If you asked him a question online, he'd give you the truthful answers and stuff. So it's sad. He'd only have to be early 50s, would he? Or
he was 56, I believe. Yeah.
56. Okay, yeah. Because I know he was a bit older than me, and but we did a few Ironman shows together. He had a great physique back in the day, and
he really did.
He placed high in a couple of the pro shows. I think seconds and thirds and stuff. But it was almost like. You'd have Lee Labrada, who was that real classic type, and then you had David Dearth, who was a bigger version of Labrada, almost with the symmetry and muscle mass and that. But I remember him and Aaron they were like the dynamic duo at the gym. They'd always be side by side, him and Aaron. So.
Vince Comerford, Dearth, Labrada. Who else? You, I guess, would fit into that category. There were guys that were in that height range that were able to compete in the open division at that lighter weight and still really dominate.
Yeah, before he passed away too, Ben Aziza was one of the good ones.
But he was a freak. He was big too.
Even was it the Night of Champions when he beat Dorian that time? So
yeah, can you imagine if those guys were doing the 212 division nowadays? How great it would be.
Even some of those shots, you look back at Padilla, he could even hold his own, I think, today when you look at him.
Oh, he would kill people. He would be 212 Olympia champ, probably, Well,
you just look at him, his skin's perfect. He's got the shoulders, the arms, the quads, the calves, everything. So he would hold his own easily.
He was short, but he was proportionally short,
Yeah. Wife's going to work. Bye-bye. She's leaving early today.
She's leaving you home by yourself? Do you need a babysitter, to watch over you, a nurse?
Keep an eye out for me.
I heard Steve is available to be your nurse to nurse you back to health.
Steve would try to come up on this side of me where I can't see him.
You won't be able to see him. Yeah. Now, when do you get that eye patch off?
I only take it off to clean and that, but then I just leave it on during the day so I don't bump it and crap doesn't get in it, because I got another gauze thing under there to catch all the blood.
Right.
And pus that comes out.
When did the stitches come out, though?
I see the doctor again, I think next Tuesday, the 13th. So that's the hard thing, too, because I've got to clean it. When you clean it with the eye bud thing, first you've got to use hot water and then the cream, the eye patch thing keeps getting caught in the stitches, and I'm fucking ripping on it.
That's some freaking incision. They took a bit. That wasn't a little thing. They took a huge border out on that melanoma.
The only thing I'm worried about now is if they're taking so much out, it might look like I've had a facelift on this side, and now I've got to go get this side done.
There you go. Or just maybe, well, the tattoo might be hiding that side, so it might look all right.
Or maybe I'll just get some sticky tape and fucking do my own, just so I pull it back like this. Remember, like when you were younger, you'd have like the young girls like that.
Yeah.
Mummy, my pigtails are too tight.
Now, would you consider getting a tattoo on the other eye to cover the scar, or do you think the scar is like kind of its own tattoo?
I haven't really seen it because I can't really see where it is. I know it's somewhere. Like,
you're going to have a nice,
area.
believe me, you'll have a nice scar there. I
think it goes from there to there, so I'm not sure. But, if it does look too weird, I might have to get this side done because I might like, hey, Lee, one eye looks a bit different than the other eye. So I might look like Lopsy or something. So
maybe you should just keep the eye patch on all the time. You could be like Thor,
And every day just change it from side to side and see if people notice. Well, forehead. Also,
you could get a sponsor. You could sell, like almost like a billboard. You could sell space on your eye patch for advertising.
Like Madonna. Doesn't Madonna wear one now with something on it, like a cross or something?
Does she? She got an eye patch?
Yeah, she got an eye patch on her latest video clips and shit. She's wearing an eye patch for fashion. She was on the Graham Norton show and she has an eye patch that has all like fucking bedazzler diamonds all over it.
Really?
And shit like that. It's her latest fashion.
You should go to the arts and crafts store and buy some little stones and stone it up, man.
We'll call them Cyclops. Lee Priest Cyclops eye patch.
Let me see how creative you are, and on next week's show you could have or maybe our fans could actually design eye patches for you. Send them to Lee. And Lee will wear your eye patch if he feels that it's good, and we can have a contest.
Someone's gonna just draw a fucking dick on it. I can see.
There you go. That's the one you'll probably pick is the best one.
There you go, Lee. There's your eye patch, you dickhead. Do I look like a dickhead now? I'm just like a head with one hole on one side.
All right. Here's the contest. Anyone out there who design an eye patch, do you want to give out you have a PO box or something like that? Fans can send the eye patches to.
I don't have a PO box. Do you have one?
No, I don't have one.
No,
you'll have to give your address out. You'll send it to me. I'll put it in the description below. And people will send you eye patches, and then you'll wear them you'll show them off on the next couple shows, like which are the best ones, and we'll have a contest.
If people send in a couple of good ones, we'll pick a couple and I'll wear them on here. So
I might design one myself. I might have a little art project for myself. My son and I will do one.
You'll probably get your son to design it and just say you did it.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually glue like little steroid vials onto the actual outside of the eye patch and have you there'll be a Prima Bone one, there'll be a Winstrol one,
Steve's probably doing one now. He's watching this show. He's got the eye patch on the table. He's like, I'll design you one, Lee. I just put some stuff on top of it.
Put some glue on there to hold the sequins on. Yeah.
You're like, what design's that, Lee, on your eye patch? It looks like white rain, white Russian.
It's Elmer's
white
glue.
Russian.
It's Elmer's glue.
It's called ammonia cream by Steve. It's very nice. Thank you, Steve. That's what it's almost now. I do know. I actually do feel sorry for Steve because having to take this off like twice a day and clean it. I do know now just from the pus and the blood and shit. Now I know what a cunt it must be when you do get cum in your fucking eyes because it's fucking hard. It's fucking hard to clean out. You got to get the fucking things and the hot water and shit like that. So Steve must have a real hard time when he's getting that bukkake.
You have a distorted mind.
How? Look, Dave, I'd like to know how you bring this show down all the time. We're trying to talk about...
It always disintegrates into like, at the end, into like debauchery.
We're trying to have a nice moment talking about a friend's passing, and we end up with Steve Blackman and bukkake. Right.
But you know what the funny thing is? That's how David Dearth lived his life. He would want us to be celebrating his life, not mourning it.
And right? Dave was, he would have almost been like the Lee Priest of his era back then because he actually got in trouble a bit too, Dave, I think, back in the day.
Oh, he did? He got banned? I think he got banned once. Didn't he He told me that.
I'm pretty sure, he got banned once or twice.
Yeah.
Because he'd always be outspoken a bit. Aaron was the quieter one. He was outspoken. I think back then, Dave, Milos was a bit outspoken back in the day as well.
Yeah, he got in trouble a few times too.
He'd have his arguments, Milos, but yeah, there's a couple of us there that would, cause havoc.
Do you think that Aaron Baker should have won more pro shows? Do you think he got screwed at a couple shows?
Easy. Oh, I think his biggest screwing was, I've beaten him a couple of times at the Ironman, so those shows he didn't deserve to win. Of course, the ones that I beat him in, but that time, the time he came back from the WBF, do you remember he came back to the Olympia?
Yeah.
Oh, he should have easily been top 3 at that Olympia, and he didn't. I don't think he even made top 10, did he?
No.
It was the biggest screwing ever. That was like how you doing here? But there's a few shows where he had great symmetry, Aaron. Plus, he had this almost like back then the symmetry, but he almost had that fullness like Kai Green has and stuff back then. So I think he easily should have won a few more shows than what he did. And there's always really, when you think back to it, he might have been the Kai Green of his day because he was very flamboyant with costumes. Remember the Batman costume?
Yeah, you're right.
His posing was very out there and sort of stuff like that. So
and in the gym, I mean, no one looked better in the gym than he did, right?
No, him walking around the gym in those one-piece hot skin unitard things that we all used to wear, and he'd always be just walking around. And he was big into art too. I remember he was big into artwork and stuff. And I think my friend Mark from Texas, they're good friends. The last I heard that from Aaron Baker, I think he was in Hawaii. He's like a minister in the priesthood or something.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he was in Hawaii and he's in the priesthood now and stuff like that. So
the Lee priesthood.
Exactly. I should start a religion, shouldn't I?
There you go. You got the perfect name for it. You got the pictures David Paul took of you with the cross around your neck, right?
Yes, I could. Yeah, I could put on the priest cloak again, and
That's right.
Come, want some lollies, little boys? Come on. Come see the coming of Christ.
Now that we've hit the all-time low, we can probably wrap the show up. Lee, take care of that eye. So hopefully you
I
can...
want people to know, I don't like to publicise them, but Generation I did send me a rough copy of my documentary that's coming out.
How did it come out?
It came out good. They've still got to add a bit more in it, but the interviews are pretty good. A couple of people watched it and they actually teared up and cried. I didn't know my life story was that moving. Were you very honest about your childhood and everything? Yeah. My mum's on there talking about it, and my father being gay, and my sister's on there, and some friends are on there. But I'm not sure if they were crying because the story was so sad, or they were crying because I made them sit there and watch it.
No, I'm sure it was very compelling. Look, you had it. You didn't. Look, we all had rough lifestyles. You had a rough upbringing, and the fact that you came out.
That's the thing, though. I don't normally talk about mine unless I'm asked about it in questions and stuff. That's why this day and age, I hate when you have. I think I mentioned once before these talent shows like The Voice or America's Got Talent or stuff. The whole show starts off now with, I'm singing for my grandmother who passed away. This was her favourite song. Right. It's like, just sing. It's like if you win the show and then tell us about your life, because everyone, does have a story. Yeah. Most of us do have shit in our lives. No one's got the perfect life, even though people, when you look at Instagram, want you to believe they have the fucking perfect life. Right. But, they're just kidding themselves. But everyone's lost loved ones due to this, due to that. There's been tragedies in families and stuff like that. So it's like we've all had it happen, but for some reason when you get on TV and get on these shows, people like to play up to it more. So you think, oh my God, that poor girl, how could she cope going through that?
Yeah. Well, you know what happens when the Generation Iron documentary comes out, one of these Iron debates will talk about the whole interview, and you can tell us exactly what all the details.
I could have went deeper into the interview and talked about those 5 years I had contracts with Steve Blackman, and I was locked in that office. And I was abused. I was abused and touched, and
You were raped by Steve Blackman.
The shit I had to do to get the covers of that magazine and the pull-out poster. It still gives me nightmares today what I had to do for it. Trying to fit under that desk was no easy task when I was 285. You try to suck quietly on a cock when his wife comes in the room. See, you can do it.
Lee, you too. Now we've hit the all-time. We've hit the bottom. We've hit rock bottom. We can wrap it up now.
No, I'm not saying that happened at all. Okay, I'm just,
It might have happened, right? It might have.
It might have happened. Wink, 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 wink.
Get that white crap out of your eyes, will you? It's seeping down into your nose.
I'm actually going to scrape it out and send it to Steve.
Lee, we love you. Get better. Take care of that eye. We'll be back next week. And when that documentary comes out, let us know so we can tell all the fans to watch it. And guys, remember, design your custom eye patches. And if Lee likes it, he might just wear it on the show. We'll put the address in the description of where you should send your eye patches to. Please, no white powder or no white gook on the lenses. All right?
Nothing ticking. I got to go.
Nothing, no sticky stuff. Yeah, no sticky stuff.
I got to keep an eye on the Avengers now.
And from Dave Palumbo and Nick Fury, this is another installment of Iron Rage. We'll see you next week.